YouTube. Oh, nice. It is. It is streaming your screen.
Cool. All right. Yeah. I mean, we can make it like a daily, hourly, thing from like 7:30 to 8:30 or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Run through some pairs and call it.
Has that guys. 10-second, whatever. Let's make this shit. Okay. Cool. All right. So you wanna go through the pairs?
Yeah. Top of my watch list is EU. So you want to start there?
Yeah. EU sounds good. That's my favorite one.
Yeah. All right. Well. So pretty much on EU, we got a range going on for sure. Like we're kind of in like this sideways box here. The highs of it being around 122 and the lows of it being around 120.
Mm-hmm.
So we're pretty much, bouncing back and forth, ping ponging off that upper and lower boundary. It seems like we're coming off of the lower boundary here at 120. So I'm more or less anticipating EU to go ahead and run the range again. So coming off these lows at 120, I'll definitely be looking for like minor resistances along the way up, such as this here on the hourly, for example. Like I feel like if we get a break of 121 on the hourly, then we could continue to make our way up within the range. Probably a good initial target for that trade will be like 121.4. And if we could run through that, then like 121.8. And if we could run through that, then 122. So
right now you're thinking it'll probably move back up, right?
yeah, I have like this whole resistance that we just ran into this morning. We're bouncing off that resistance, but then now at the same time we're running into this support, so like we're kind of trapped. But I'm thinking we'll probably bounce back up.
Yeah. I look at put like the weekly.
Weekly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, oh, what the hell happened? How'd you took it? Did you do that or just?
No, I did that.
How'd you do that? Oh, hide all things.
HUD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that previous week though, you see, I think
The upper wick rejection on it.
yeah, and then because I have the way I have it, the range. Well, you see that bottom area, you have the purple-ish area.
Right.
I think that area is more key than the area, that one,
The
little
yellow
one.
one?
Yeah, the purple one. No, the purple one. So the blue, you have too many blues in that purple, the small one. Yeah, I think the bottom one, especially since we had that big rejection the previous week,
right?
I'm thinking it might keep going down a little bit more to test that area if this level holds. Like if it can't do what you're saying, I think it could definitely drop there. Because another thing is if you go on the another if you go to like let's say the 8 hour, the daily.
Okay.
So I had a what you had the daily
What's the 8 hour?
480.
480. Okay.
Let me see something. I just saw something. No, actually, never mind. I was thinking because I had also a trend line, but that's a no, never mind. Because I had a trend line on the 8 hour, but but no, never mind. I think the probability that it will go up is higher than it will go down. Never mind. Because
Yeah.
also
No, go ahead.
yeah, because also I have a trend line on the daily that goes all the way from back, back in to what is this June. So if you have a trace trend line from there, yeah, somewhere around there to the previous, and then it's kind of that could be a thing too, plus the support. So yeah.
Hmm.
Wait, how come you? Oh no no. Okay, okay, yeah. You trust it. You traced it higher. But yeah yeah, that could be a thing too.
It looks like it's kind of cutting through that trend line there.
Yeah, that I traced it a little higher. But yeah, that makes more sense actually. What you're doing. You see?
Um, this is kind of oddly somewhat reminiscent of like because EU's in kind of like a pullback slash consolidation kind of thing, looking
Yeah
at the daily. And it's been doing that since January, right? Like early
yeah
January. But it's kind of oddly reminiscent of what it did from like last September, where it kind of did like this ugly pullback consolidation range kind of thing.
yeah.
But then we kind of like just hit off a support and then kind of took off. Um,
I'm still thinking though, if it doesn't break that level, that resistance,
which one? 121?
yeah, where is that right now? Basically, we're tested right now, the highest. So that today, that highest point today,
Right, right. Yeah, it needs to close above 121.
yeah. But if I
Uh,
think if it keeps dropping from where it is right now, like if we see more bearishness, it could go probably to the previous low, that low that I was talking about. Because then,
uh,
like you were saying, like the same thing is a reminiscing from last time. It went down to the lowest point that uh to the lowest support twice. Here's only done it once.
yeah, I mean, so in this situation, since we're sideways, like you can be kind of open to both bearish and bullish trades. I would say. Um, I think they will both be effective in their own right, being that the market doesn't really have a bias right now.
Yeah.
So with that, like just game planning for either situation, right? So if we successfully break and close above 121, let's say like on the hourly, or better yet on the 4 hour, like I think that'll be a good bullish trade because I think we could run this entire range up to 121.8 if we get through 121.4, the midpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be one trade if that happens.
Yeah.
Or if that does not happen, um, I don't really like. I mean, you could take a bearish trade from like if we break like this little area down to the purple zone. That's more like a scalp or an intraday trade, if you ask me. But if we do break the purple zone, then definitely like we can go back and test the lows down here at like 119.5 area. So I think that'll be another good trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, yesterday was definitely bullish for sure.
it was, yeah. So I was kind of keying on that too, being that we made like a nice little push up, and then this could be perceived as like somewhat of a pullback, and then we may continue from this yellow support zone here,
Yeah.
push higher. Could be that, but I mean, I limit my trading to exclusively breakout. So in order for me to enter, we'll need a break of and close of 121, and then I'll take the trade from there and go. That'll be my game plan. That'll be my preferred plan of attack for this.
So you wouldn't take it at the wave if that is a wave.
Take it where?
You wouldn't take it at the wave at the lowest at the higher low. Like right now, if it is gonna go up, it's creating a higher low, right?
Sure, yeah, but
I
in
guess.
theory, in theory that sounds great, but like in practice, I find it like you could do it, but like that'll be pretty much taking a bounce off support, right? Whereas that's not really my strong suit as far as trading is concerned, to be honest.
I would actually, I would I wouldn't take it like that because it's ranging. If it were like trending,
Trending,
I
yeah, that'll
think
make
I
more
would,
sense too.
yeah, because the fact that we've been ranging for like forever, it could be a fake lower high.
And then in ranging markets, breakouts actually work quite well, as we travel from level to level. So yeah, I'd much rather a break of 121. I think that'll be a high probability situation that we run up to 121.4 or even 121.8.
Yeah, yeah, I like it.
Uh,
All right,
yeah, that's the situation there. So we'll keep an eye on that for today. That could happen today.
all right. Set my alerts on both extremes. What's the next pair?
GJ,
GJ.
just looking at the naked chart really quick, right? Well, that's the intraday. Let me look at the daily. Like looking at the chart naked, obviously we have a ton of momentum on GJ. Like recently we've pulled back, but it looks like we've put like a nice wick rejection in the ground right here, like at 148. And yeah, it looks like we're continuing to push up. So really I'm betting on just this momentum continuing. That was the main reason why I chose to take that bullish trade this morning. I feel like that can continue it and at least retest the highs, if not break them and continue.
Yeah.
But
This hiding things. I never use that, and I think it's so useful because
it is for sure.
I just removed all the crap I had on GJ, and I went to the weekly, and just from like not having anything but just looking at the line of the price right now,
Hmm.
it's like I think it's at major resistance on the weekly.
It is like in several areas, right? Because if you look at 148, like that looks like major resistance. 149, 150, 151, 152, like the whole thing.
Yeah,
It could
but
really turn around anywhere.
you know how I have I don't know, I see you don't use those, but the pivot points.
Pivots, yeah, I'll just have them hit them, but I use them.
So if you put the pivot points and you put it weekly,
Uh-huh.
we're literally, well, slightly higher, but still around the area of all the pivot points around that, weekly. You see that? Like
I
you're
do.
going over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pivot points and current price. So that's why I said major resistance. I didn't even have so many lines in my chart that I didn't even realize yet until I removed all of them. But so that's the thing I think to keep in mind right there,
Definitely. Um,
and the fact that it's super extended.
yeah, like really, I was looking for the GJ cells at 148, especially since we left like this upper wick rejection last week. So
Yeah.
coming into this week, I was like, well, if we start taking out like 147.5, which is like the low of last week, then we could easily start falling bearish, especially since if you look at the daily, um,
Hmm.
or I'm sorry, if you look at the 4 hour, uh, to me, it was kind of looking like we put in like a possible lower high around 149, but like this morning we broke through that. So I'm
Right.
like, well, damn, like we're still taking out highs on GJ. So it looks like this thing is just continuing. So pretty
But
much just
but
a play to follow that momentum.
yeah, and I was saying earlier, I think it's still the trade is still good, at least to go to the previous high.
Right.
But when right now what I don't like, and I guess this goes with the lower time frame wicks that you're talking about. If you put the 8 hour, I like the 8 hour, 8 hour what is it, 480.
Mm-hmm.
Um, since it hasn't closed, the 8 hour hasn't closed. It closes at, I guess, well, it closed at 9, right? 9,
Yeah.
1 to 9. Yeah. If that closes, because if that closes with the wick like a bearish, and with the wick, it's still on the thing you're saying where it's creating
A lower high.
a lower high, exactly. And then
Yeah.
and it continues on down from that, then
That'll be
we can see
consistent
a
with
reversal.
this 1 a.m. candle here. Like, so if it closes at that point, then the 1 a.m. candle will be engulfed.
Right.
And that essentially makes like a fake out situation, right?
Right.
So yeah, you're right.
You,
So
you
as long
think,
as that doesn't happen.
but I guess even though that would be a great entry there, I guess the more since it's a reversal, we will need more confirmation. We'll need to break, like you were saying, 148 type of level, right? To look for a bearish entry.
So for a bearish entry, yeah. Like I'll need it to break 148 down here.
Yeah.
And
I'll
then
put my,
below that,
I'll
bearish
put my,
entries make sense. I do like the fact that like on the 4 hour, we've kind of like bottomed out at this support at
mm-hmm.
148,
Yeah.
bounced off it pretty clean, left good rejections, all that.
Yeah.
And then it looks like we were trying to push through here 149. Um, so as long as we could stay above 149, then I think we retest 150 or 150, 500, something like that. It just might not do it in the prettiest way, but
Yeah, it's slower. That's always another. If it does do that, like on the hour, if it closes, even though the hour is gonna close soon, let's say 4 hour, 2 hour, maybe
it
the two
closes in
hour.
3 minutes.
It doesn't seem right now that it's going to, but if it does, what do you think about entry? Actually, it's not looking good bullish right now.
Yeah,
But
I
if
wouldn't
that's
enter right now.
if it does close bullish on the 2 hour, on the 1 hour at 9 or whatever, what do you think of an entry like on that time frame, on the 1 hour or something?
To take GJ bullish right now?
No, but if it closes like an engulfing candle, like on the 1 hour at 9, for example, I think like it would be like a retest, right, of the level that I was telling you earlier. Because I was looking at this too and I missed it. Um, so I was thinking another way to enter it. If it does keep going bullish, it would be like a retest of that resistance that it broke. Wouldn't that be a decent entry to catch?
Above what price point are you talking about?
I'm saying if it closes, like, let's say, let me see, 140, 149.50. Let's say it closes above 149.60.
Right. Yeah. So that would make sense to do that if it does that. That'll be great because then it'll just be pushing off of this support at 149 too.
Right.
And yeah,
That's,
that would
yeah.
make sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I was thinking about taking something like that if it happens, even though, it doesn't seem,
and it's a matter of like stop placement at that point because again, like this doesn't have like a ton of momentum right now.
hmm,
So even though it may go up, it may not go up in the prettiest way. So your stop
Yeah.
placement right there will be pretty important.
All right.
So typically, I mean, I would look for the low point. So I had my stops down here, which is the most recent low point that I could identify at 148.9.
Yeah. It would.
So
Yeah.
if that gets taken out, then I'm completely out.
Yeah. That's what I would put it to. Which if I, yeah, that's what I don't like about taking it the way I'm saying. The ratio will be kind of.
Push the reward to be off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, it'll still be over one, but I mean, I don't know.
it looks
Yeah.
like this will be the next level up if we could continue up. Right? Something like that. Like somewhere in like 150 area. Yeah. But yeah, let's see what happens. Maybe this is probably better off like as a scalp instead of like
Yeah.
really trying to swing trade this because not a lot of energy left in it. It's really overbought, in my opinion. Like
For
this run
sure.
up has been ridiculous. Like it really
Yeah.
has not stopped. So
Yeah. I agree. It's just
I
been.
feel like when it does turn around, like that initial move may be pretty harsh.
Yeah. We gotta look for that. So I have my alert already.
Yeah. That's pretty much that for GJ though.
All right. Next one.
Next on the list is gold. Good pal gold.
That missed gold, man. Some bullshit.
Yeah, so I mean, gold has been. I wouldn't so. I guess you'll have to say it's been in a downtrend since
Yeah.
since late last year, since August,
Yeah.
in the ugliest way. But honestly, though, I've been waiting on this forever. But this just looks like a pullback of the massive up move it made since like 2018. That
Yeah.
ridiculous run that it was on. So I'm really just waiting on gold to hit a support and bounce.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I have the same support you have there. What is that one? 1680? 16.
well, 1675.
Yeah, about the same shit.
1675, yeah, which is support. And then, if that lines up with like this lower boundary trend line here, I think that'll make sense because it looks like we're kind of in like this downward channel here.
Yeah.
So it's like another added level of confluence if we bounce off there. But otherwise, I really don't have much on gold. Um, I would just say like if we push up and then bounce off of a resistance, we could look for a sell again. But yeah, otherwise, I really don't have much to say about gold. The lower time frames don't look very good at all. Anything intraday from 4 hour on down is kind of choppy.
Yeah. Gotta be ready for that buy, man. That's what we gotta be ready on that
For
shit.
sure. Got to watch that support there at 1680, 1675 area.
Yeah. What else we
Yeah.
got? UJ?
That's pretty much it there. Next pair is UJ, yeah. I have UJ like again, like in another channel at the upper boundary of the channel and simultaneously at a resistance just below 107. I have a resistance at 106.8. UJ's been in a pretty good uptrend since the beginning of the year. Kind of surprising because the entire 2020 has just been major sell-off for UJ following that trend line there.
Yeah.
And then this year, like we completely kind of reversed that. So it'll be slightly aggressive, but like really anything coming out of this zone, I'll be looking to sell. It's a complete reversal play, of course, so it's risky in that regard. But the last time we were here at 106.8, we had a pretty decent sell-off. That was back in August of last year. We crashed down fairly decently. So I'm kind of looking for the same thing to happen again, but you're gonna need the right signal for it.
Right.
Otherwise, like the intraday stuff on UJ is really ugly to even talk about. Like it's been in this massive up move since 105 all the way up to 106.8 where it is now, and yeah, it's just slowly but surely trickled its way up there. But at the same time, I think that makes even more sense to sell it, you know, if it starts breaking down from this area. Not sure what you think about that.
Yeah. It's definitely extended, so I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing as GJ, you know, like it's been super extended.
Yeah.
And on top, this one is even worse because this one, like you're saying, it's been bearish for freaking ever, since 15. Well, no, it
Yeah.
had like some pullbacks, but still, I have a trend line coming back from 15, bullish. I mean, bearish, bearish, bearish. It's creating a kind of like a what is it, like a triangle pattern on the, like, if you look at, like, zoom out all the way in the weekly.
Yeah, it is.
And right now it's close to the top portion of that triangle. So I mean to the trend line. So
What's interesting, like I don't really look for the triangle pattern anymore, like as a chart pattern, but I notice with Japanese yen, like it makes a lot of triangles.
yeah.
Like for example, like check me out. Like here, that's a triangle there, right?
Hmm.
And then previous to that, that was another triangle here. As far as like its corrective patterns, like they're all like triangles. Like, you know, depending on how you look at it, you know, there may be a triangle there. Um, yeah, like even like at the top here, like that down sloping line there, and a flat bottom, another triangle. Like it makes a lot of triangles, so
Yeah.
it's a cool setup to look for as far as trading a breakout, especially on JPY pairs. Okay, it
Yeah.
happens pretty consistently. But yeah, UJ's at this 106.8 level for 3 days now, just kind of hanging out, not doing much. Intraday, it's consolidating there, going sideways. So I think it's pretty vulnerable. If it starts breaking supports, then yeah, you could. If you're in the mood to be a little bit aggressive, then you can start taking like initial entries as we break supports up here. That reversal should be pretty sweet, I'm thinking.
Hell yeah. It's at the top of the channel too, so it would make sense
Right.
even more. Like there's a lot of um, congruency in different ways, and just for it to go bearish.
Yeah, it's at resistance, at the boundary, upper boundary of the channel, going sideways. Then if it breaks the support, yeah, that's a lot of confluence. So yeah, that's pretty much that
there.
for you, Jay. All right. Next, I got AU. Look at that naked real quick.
What the hell? What are you saying? I had an alert on EU. It went off. Let me go back. Damn, EU's dropping.
Use dropping. So what does that mean? Oh, GJ definitely took me out there. Well, it took out some of my stops. I still have more. Yeah. Let me just kill those. That doesn't even make sense to keep those.
Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, man, like EU's think it's doing the bearish thing.
Yeah,
Look at
GJ
that.
just fell off a cliff with a head and shoulders on the 15-minute chart.
And GJ, yeah, same thing with GJ, man. GJ's gonna do the thing where it's gonna close with a huge wick and has engulfing candle or an engulfing candle on the floor.
Yep, for engulfing.
Fuck, what the hell happened? All of a sudden, wait, there's a news there? This, 8:15. No, that didn't even hit. That's national employment.
Yeah, that resistance was too much for GJ here. Couldn't hack it. That was simple though, and I knew that getting into my trade this morning because there was like a level here, which that's the one I was eyeing, and then it broke that, but then it ran into like a brand new level there at 149.5.
Right.
So yeah.
You
All
killed the
right.
whole thing?
Yeah, I just killed the whole thing. It doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah. Check out EU now. I mean, yeah, EU.
Hold on.
Bless you.
Thanks. Oh yeah. So EU's bouncing clean off of 121. Yeah, it'll probably go retest the recent low around 120.
I think I'm gonna say what I said earlier. I think since it's doing this, it's kind of creating a lower high,
Right.
and the next lower low should be the previous, what level is this, 119.5 type of thing.
Yeah, 119.5. Yeah.
So
It could. Just the fact that again, like we're ranging here, so
yeah, exactly. So
if it was trending, sure, like lower highs and lower lows will mean a lot, but here, I don't know.
that's true. Yeah, true. That's what I hate about ranging, man.
But I don't mind ranging as long as like the range is clear, and because within the range, like there are levels, right, where price moves from one level to the next.
But yeah, that's true. Let me put a line here. Array.
Man, sleep is the cousin of death, bro. Sucks. I
Why do you say
definitely would have
that?
took all my break evens on GJ because I was up on that trade. But I went to sleep and oop, you snooze, you lose.
I'll do that. I'll be right back.
Cool.
Baby, I want Buzz Lightyear.
Watch it on the phone.
No.
No, you stop.
I'm back.
Yeah.
So what's the next pair? GU?
We're looking at AU. We covered AU.
No, it's like GU because you were GU. I think.
Oh no.
You said AU? Okay.
Yeah, AU. So with AU too, like looking at the chart naked, we're kind of in like a peculiar spot here because like we're at a resistance right here at pretty much 78, right? This level here.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like last week we've dipped below 78, and this is a possible retest of it here that we're having this week. So now the question is, all right, are we going to bounce off 78 or are we going to push back through 78 and retest 79.5 area or 80, I should say, right?
Yeah.
So that's essentially what I was waiting on. Like price action needs to break this level here that it's at, bullish, preferably just because we're already in such a bullish trend.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I don't like what happened here last week with these two massive bearish impulsive candles coming down from 80, right?
Yeah.
Like, so AU's, I mean, it could be a decent trade back up to 80, but I'm not that excited for it. Yeah. Yeah, this could be decent. Um,
For you're saying bullish? Keep on bullish?
if it breaks, if it could break and stay above like 78.3 or so, then sure, like we could go and start pushing back up towards 79.5 or 80. But right now, it doesn't necessarily look like that. It looks like it's probably creating like a lower high here. Because again, like last week's candles are pretty impulsively bearish. So this could
Yeah.
be the start of like a reversal downtrend kind of thing. Let me
Yeah.
see if
Creating a lower high.
exactly.
And that 4 hour right now is like super engulfing, closing and 40 minutes. And it closes like that.
Right, and then we're hitting off a Fibonacci level here.
Yeah.
Okay, kill that. But yeah, so it's kind of like similar to EU where like you have like a bullish possibility, or you also have a bearish possibility.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, if we start pushing below 78 now, which is pretty much where we're at, like if we start staying below 78, making lower highs and lower lows on lower time frames, then it could be okay for a scalp down, bearish. It looks like we may be in some kind of corrective pattern like this. Uh, let me see if that makes sense. Yeah, looks like it makes sense. So kind of like a channel. We break that like a flag pattern channel kind of thing.
Yeah.
We break that, continue heading down, make a new low down here. So sure, this probably something to keep an eye on if that happens. Or we could hit off the lower boundary of this channel and bounce back up and then continue bullish. Who knows? So let's see. Nothing's like abundantly clear in the market right now, though. That's what it's kind of like
Yeah.
the vibe I'm getting. You know?
That sucks.
Yeah, like last week, I mean, things were just booming all over the place. It was crazy. But now this week, kind of cooling off a bit. So honestly, like getting a sense. I think it's important to get a sense for like the nature and the feel of the overall market too, to know like how you should behave. Like for example, last week, everything was trending, everything had volume. You know what I'm saying? Everything was doing its thing. So yeah, that was a good week to be aggressive, right? To take many positions if you want to do that, or take aggressive position sizes if you want to do it that way instead, like quality over quantity kind of thing.
Right.
However you want to play it. But last week, was a good week to employ all of those kind of strategies. But I think this week it's probably better off to uh, you know, flip that switch a little bit and go conservative. Don't do anything too risky. Don't take too many trades. Really pick your spots because it's just not moving like that this week. So it's not really worth it to put yourself out there.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, yeah, but that's AU. You got anything else you want to add to that, or?
Mm, no, I was looking at the higher time frames and I have a trend line. Well, I just traced it. I traced the trend line where it touches 3 times. Well, I'm looking at the. Well, let's see if it works on the daily. Probably. So yeah, same thing on the daily. From down November. From November all the way up to currently, it touches 3 times. And also trace the fib from there to the high. And I was just looking for things to to see for bearish, I'm sorry. If bearish confirmations. Like if that trend line's broken, so if it breaks below like a higher time frame than some 77, it will be breaking support, the trend line, and going probably to the next fib level. So I put an alert there.
Check out the weekly.
The weekly, yes. Super bullish.
Yeah, but you see, okay, obviously on the weekly we have a clear support at 80, right? Or I'm sorry, clear resistance
Yeah,
at 80, which we wicked off of last week.
and
Last week's
closed
candle.
super bearishly.
Right. So the low of last week was 77, give or take.
Yeah,
Yeah, 77. So if we start taking out 77,
yeah,
then for sure, like it looks like a pretty good situation for things to continue dropping
yeah.
because we hit a resistance. We got like I guess you can call that like a shooting star kind of candle, which is a pretty good reversal candle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we did that with momentum. So
I love how if you trace a fib from all the way at the bottom on the weekly, like all the way at the bottom to the top, the support resistance, at least that I have traced, match perfectly with the fib levels. Isn't that crazy?
I didn't even chart all the way from the bottom on the weekly like that.
Yeah, I just have like support resistance on like the pivot points on the weekly. So
I see what you mean. Just looking at it, eyeballing it.
yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? So weird.
But yeah, that could crash. So I mean, would that mean bullish US dollar? Possibly, but US dollar's been pretty sideways.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
But still, I hate thinking like that too because that sometimes messes me up because even if yeah the dollar's been this sideways since this year too, but it's been also slightly bullish.
Jeez, gold's getting wrecked. Oh my God. Dollar?
Yeah, like No, it's AU. AU's been it's been more bullish than sideways.
Oh, for sure.
So
But the dollar's been bearish though. I mean, just looking at the US dollar chart, DXY, like this thing's clearly bearish. Even though right now it's kind of sideways, but
yeah,
this sideways just looks like a setup for, further push down.
yeah. But like you were saying, like it's been sideways this year, like since December even,
Yeah,
right? So
kind of like how it was sideways last year from June to November, and then we
and
broke
then
down
it
mid push
dipped
up.
like crazy.
Yeah, so more or less the same thing will probably happen again. But dollar index does have major support just below all this sideways activity here.
Yeah, I have that too. What is
So
88 ish,
88.5,
88.5? That's where I have
80,
my line.
89.5 or something like that. 88, 89.5, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, the dollar's been super bearish for the longest time.
But yeah, so on AU, like, I mean, on its way there, but especially if it breaks 77, yeah, if it breaks 77, then yeah, shorts
Yeah, I agree.
probably on the way there too. Keep an eye on it. Um, all right, so after that's NU. NU is AU, right?
Yeah,
Like they're
yeah,
like they're kind of like fraternal twins or something. Um,
yeah,
so it's gonna be the same story here. We hit off major resistance at 74. We crashed down last week. Some bearish impulsive candles. It looks like so far this week we've been retesting. If we take out the lows of last week, then shorts. It's the same story.
yeah. Sure.
So on NU, I'll say look for shorts below 72,
Yeah,
72.5
yeah. 72.
or 72. Yeah, 72.
So 70. I have 72, 72 too. Yeah, same
I
shit.
have this level here like 72.3-ish.
Yeah, that's what I have. I have 72 too.
Yeah.
But then I also have pretty much where it's at right now. It's level 72.5.
Yeah, that too. But really like below 73 looks clean. Looks like we'll
Yeah,
drop straight down to 71.5 if we break 72.3.
there.
Yeah, so that's the story there. And yeah, that's the list.
List. No UCAD?
Uh, we can cover UCAD, sure.
UCAD's been super sideways.
Super duper sideways. Like I have UCAD being at a major support, by the way. Like, but it's not the prettiest thing, but like this whole level is like support here. It's kind of even hard to draw it because there's so much going on.
Yeah, this is really choppy.
Yeah, UCAD's coming off a major double top. Just gonna alert for your Bushman. But UCAD's coming off a major double top, 145,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's just been selling off ever since. So it's kind of like the dollar index chart, like kind of
Yeah,
choppy, but just selling off. But if you really want to play ball with UCAD, I'll say take a break below 126
yeah, I
because
agree. That's what I said.
intraday we have decent support there. So I think that'll be a good intraday trade.
Yeah,
Continue below 126. So actually, let
for
me
the
see.
level right there. I have it at 158.
I think G is interesting.
Where's that? EG?
GU is kind of interesting. And what do you think about this, bro? I know we don't really look at this.
That pair.
Euro British pound.
Yeah.
Intraday, it's kind of like the UCAD situation we just looked at, right? Like
Yeah.
more or less the same setup. Like if we break this level, then the traffic's pretty clear all the way down to like 86, like here. Also, like the pattern coming down, we consolidated near here, and then we're making like a new push down. That makes a lot of sense. And then overall, we're also bearish, so that's in line with that.
Yeah. Extended but bearish. Yeah, I like it. I like it bearish because seems like it created, yeah, like have the level there. It created, it's creating a, what's it called, a lower high.
Lower high at 86.6.
We tested that little resistance, consolidated. I like that consolidation with this pair though. I haven't traded this pair in a longest time. But it's been super bearish though, so trend is your friend, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I have a level though. Let me see. I don't like that this
There is a level
overall,
here though. 86.
yeah. Yeah, yep. I don't like that overall. It's a very sideways pair.
It
Then
is
again, I'm
super
kind of,
sideways, but it just sells. Yeah, but overall, it is super duper sideways. But man, it looks like a lock to go hit 86 again. Like looking at the daily chart,
mhm.
cause you see that the bullish candle that printed the
Yeah,
25th
yeah,
looks like that'll easily get retraced. Like that thing just has no kind of follow through on it.
yeah. It's just there's a level right below that though.
86 too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me trace it. I see it, but I haven't traced it.
I'll probably just spectate on this one. Just probably just look at it because it's an intraday trade at best. It's hardly even a swing, so not really missing too much there.
Yeah.
I think the better situation is probably here on GU. Like the levels are clean and clear.
For bullish. For what, bearish?
Um,
I mean, it's been bullish.
yeah, like I'll be more inclined to the bullish situation more than anything else.
Yeah. It's been super bullish.
It's made a nice push up from like 183.5 area. Then it started consolidating, and then yeah, like it breaks above resistance here near 140, and should easily just keep going. I think that's a cleaner setup than Euro British pound. I
Oh
think this
hell
has
yeah.
more upside.
Yeah, I agree. And wow, previous time it was around this price is so far back. Trying to find the levels. Right there. Let's see.
Oh, is GJ really gonna do that to me?
What? I doubt it, man. Like,
Are you really gonna do that to me, GJ?
There's still a few minutes. They could easily fill that quick.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I should have left my stops at the lows right there.
Maybe one. How many do you had total?
4.
Oh shit! Yeah, you should have listed it. At least one. You had four, so you split
But
it
to
in
me,
four
like it,
basically, right? Your entry,
yeah. But like,
your long side.
really, the reason why I did it because my entry was like here at 4, and then like it dipped into profit. Right when that happens, like usually, if there's like a pullback like this, I'm gonna take like most of my position off the table if it hits my break even again, right?
Yeah.
And since I was sleeping and didn't get a chance to actually do that, it kind of pissed me off. So as it started to continue to push down, I was like, well, this doesn't make sense anymore. Just cut this off. But now it just wants to completely flip the script here. That's pretty crazy.
Let's see what happens there.
Price action is so ugly though, man. It's like this week is things are not clean.
Yep. Um, Swiss franc.
Swiss franc was the trade of the week, Monday morning. That was the best trade.
Swiss franc looks really, yeah. Since last week, man. I had. So annoying. I missed that. So
Man,
right now it's at a major resistance. I have a major resistance there.
yeah.
Where's that? Like on a daily.
Yeah, what 92? So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
pretty much.
pretty much 92. This whole thing here is going to be resistance for sure. Coming
And it
into that.
hasn't. Yeah, that's a major resistance right there. So it was a previous, the pre, as a previous support held for a while.
That was such a gimme trade too on so many levels, bro.
So what?
The the Monday morning Swiss franc move
Mm-hmm.
because like looking at it, the Swiss franc pretty much made a reversal here because it was bearish as hell before. But breaking through like 9500, right? Like the next major level is 92 from 9500. So usually when that happens, like it just runs the entire range. So on the lower time frames, when you have that breakout there, like I did on the hourly here, yeah, I mean, such a clear and easy trade.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that was good.
that was really the only really good setup I saw all week so far. And I missed it because I didn't wake up for it. But yeah, man, if any of the other plays like how we laid out start to work out, then I'll consider them. Well, not even, bro. To be honest, like I really don't want to push the envelope. I'd rather like be hella patient, wait on the high probability setups, and
Yeah.
then be aggressive with those
Yeah,
rather
that's
than
true.
screwing around with the BS plays.
I agree. I agree 100%. So in nothing right now we can clearly say, oh, this is a high probability.
Yeah, there's hardly anything. Maybe GU is okay, but
GU.
it's okay, but
Yeah, I like GU too. If it breaks that, if it keeps going up like that, it would be, and it has good risk reward too.
Yeah.
That's what I like the most because if I set it up, stop loss, even that's crazy. I'm probably even tighter than that shit.
I would set the stops at like what 139.3 if it breaks the required level.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So
where I have
like
it
70
too.
pip stop and then
I have it more like a 90 pip stop, but still, even at that, it's over 2R, 2 point something to the highest, the highest, high, previous high.
yeah, you got 2 Rs up there. And then honestly, like if that were to perform well and it keeps on breaking levels on the way up, I would stack onto that. If it does all that, because that's what, how many pips? 170 something pips to the highs from the possible entry point.
Yeah,
So yeah, opportunities to add on to it.
yeah, I have my alert there for this one. But let's see if it can continue up. I was looking at.
Damn thing will probably reverse, I bet. Always happens that way.
Yeah.
How'd you make out yesterday with your options plays?
I ended up taking. I ended up taking two more contracts. And Lumen, or what is it called?
LUMN?
Lumen. Yeah, Lumen Technologies. Yeah, even though the daily didn't close above 13. Um,
Yeah, that 13 level is key.
but the daily didn't close, but the 4 hour pretty much closed at 13, kind of. I like the reason I took it, even though it didn't close, is because the 4 hour engulfed, well, not engulfed, but it closed above all the previous move, right?
Right.
And yeah, that's why pretty much I took it. And I think it had the potential to go up to the previous
I mean,
15 level.
this has awesome upside, so I do like that a lot about it. Because I mean, if we retest 1550, then that'll be awesome.
Right.
You know,
That's the
um,
potential to. That's why I took it. It had a potential like do 300% or some crazy move like that. So and I didn't take a big position, so it doesn't really matter to me.
do you see what happened yesterday with RKT?
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous, man. That's how did it?
This-
What, I just don't understand why did he take that though?
Again, like he's the one I was telling you about who kind of fires at the hip. He just kind of takes what he sees. This was
Oh,
actually a Reddit play.
oh yeah,
Yeah, this was being talked about on Reddit. Then he saw it at 20 at support, and he was looking at it because it was at support, at 20. Although I don't teach him to trade that way, but he saw that, okay, it was at support and it gapped up to 22 here on the 26th. So when he saw that it bounced off support, gapping up, he was like, yeah, he bought it from there
yeah.
and then kind of got lucky with this here. But
That's crazy.
guess how much he purchased his contracts for?
How much?
48 cents each.
Wow.
Now,
What,
guess how much they ran up to? He closed well before this, but
like what? $5?
they ran up to 16.
16 what? $16?
Six, yes,
Get out of here! Are you serious?
I'm dead ass serious. They ran up to 16,
That's insane.
and he bought them for 40 something cents. But he only bought here, and here's my thing, like, because I was telling him, like, bro, like, don't stretch yourself thin, taking a whole bunch of plays where like you're just buying like two contracts here, a contract there,
Yeah.
because like if you get into a situation where you have a big winner on your hands, like with options, you almost have to take some profit because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or even by
Right.
the end of the day sometimes,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So like when you're up big, like you need to take profit and then you let, you know, like leave some contracts open and let him possibly hit like big moves. But he only had 2 contracts, so he took all his profit around 34 at about six something per contract. This thing ran up to 16 at 42.
Damn, you still make a killing.
He still made he still did great, but he could have did so much better if like he had enough where he could leave that runner.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I have too many positions open. I need to close them. Today, depending on what happens today, I'm gonna close some.
Yeah, man, this play is ridiculous though. From 48 cents to $16. Oh man.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, actually, that's another reason why I took the Lumen yesterday. I was watching it towards late in the afternoon, right? Um, and I was like, damn, I wanna when it was above 13, the one contract went up to 47 cents or 40 something cents, right?
Right.
And then I'm like, ah, fuck, it's this. I don't want to buy it at that price. Fuck that shit. So, and then it dropped below 12, 13, and then the options dropped to 19 cents. So just in that small move, I saw it doubled, right? Or more than doubled. So when it dropped to 19, I'm like, you know what? I put a limit over there. And I'm like, fuck it. It was like 3 something already. I'm like, it doesn't get triggered. It doesn't get triggered. It got triggered. So I'm hoping that today it makes a move.
I see in pre-market it's just below 13 in pre-market.
Yeah.
So depending on how bullish the market is overall, then you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take profit on NEX?
No, I didn't.
Still in there?
Yeah, and the X is it dropped yesterday.
I was looking at this one, AMTX. Like I was looking at this one last week,
And
and by the time I looked at it again, it did all this. Because when I look for an option play, like all I look for is a cup and handle with previous bullish momentum, right? That's really all I
right.
look. So like it's this breakout situation. So I was like, yeah, that looks good. So, but I don't really look at it like necessarily even every day. So I looked again yesterday, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I did all of that.
Right.
That could have been a good play.
But that would have been hard to catch because it never closed above. It just opened high. It opened,
It opened above, which is even better in my opinion.
but it opened above. But then, I mean, okay. So let's say if it opens above and then you buy at that moment when it opens,
Yeah.
and it keeps going up, great. But if it's like a fake out, then you're screwed big time.
Yeah. Um, Usually like a gap, like if it gaps the level, especially in stocks,
If it gaps the level.
for
Yeah,
example,
because it's like technically a candle overnight, right? Like it's a move.
right. Like if you have a resistance, a clear resistance, and it gaps it, then oh yeah, like there's no sellers anymore because the resistance was where the sellers are, and now you're above that, so it's just momentum at that point.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, this one too. Yeah, this one took off yesterday. I feel like the plays are come so much easier. I think they take more work to find, but the moves happen a lot easier in the stock market.
Yeah.
You could find killer moves every week consistently if you just look hard enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I kind of screwed myself over a little bit because I picked too many. Because I found that's the thing. Like I found setups. I'm like, oh, I found another one. Oh, I found another one.
Yeah.
So it's like, let me take this. So, they, but that's not, I shouldn't do that. I
Also,
guess I should just pick one really good one and just go with it.
definitely, like what helps a lot too, what goes a long way doing the smallest bit of research. Like when you see like a good setup, like look at the company and just do the smallest bit of research on the company.
Mm-hmm.
Like that helps a ton because um like in the stock market, things are like news motivated, momentum motivated, you know what I'm saying? If the market is like has its eye on one particular thing, then that's what's going to make it go, that kind of situation. So yeah, like when you find a setup that looks like intriguing on the charts, and then that also is like kind of gaining some attention at the same time, then yeah, like those are usually like the sweet spots right there, where
Right.
like you're in position for that killer move, like that RKT. RKT was a short squeeze because apparently like a lot of hedge funds were shorting it, and then I guess like it came across like the Reddit boards and all that, and
Oh
then
Jesus.
from a technical standpoint, it was also making sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like when you combine those two things, then yeah, like it's powerful.
Yeah, that makes sense. I haven't done that, but I guess I could do that. I don't really look. I just look at what type of company, what industry then.
Right. Yeah, just going just that extra mile makes a lot of difference.
Let's see how my thing's open. I'm gonna close some shit today. Fuck this. I saw Ford make that little move, man. Should have got all in on Ford.
Let's see. Oh yeah, it's looking pretty decent. Where's resistance here?
I have one at
Here at about
1670.
we're gonna have resistance at 14, probably some at 13.
Wait, wait,
Yeah, and
wait.
all the even numbers, I guess.
Oh shit, I was looking at the wrong thing. Hold on. Oh yeah, yeah. So I have it at 1348. That will be my target. I'll get out of this thing if it gets there.
Yeah.
Not a big winner, but wasn't expecting it to be anyway. I don't like how Next closed yesterday. It was doing so good.
It was doing well. And yeah, like yesterday's close was kind of suspicious. But it is hitting resistance at 5. So you got to be aware of that for sure. Because I saw it made that move right off of 5, which if you look left, that's definitely resistance there.
Yeah. Yeah, this moves slightly below where it is at. I'm gonna close it. It needs to keep moving up today. If not, I'm closing it. Pretty much break even. I was gonna
Yeah.
close Saver, but Saver it still hasn't moved below my price point that I want to close it at. If it moves, so it's kind of hanging out there.
I think Saber would probably end up doing okay. It's kind of making that continuation pattern right now. Probably just needs like a day or two more to play out.
Yeah,
Kind of looks like an ugly looking triangle kind of thing going on the daily chart.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, we do that and then we bust out.
I just don't want it to drop. If it drops below 1385, that's it.
Yeah, I'd agree. This thing has some upside though, because I don't really see any resistances until like 17. Like,
That's where I took it. 17 is the target. 17 is the target.
well, 15. Well, actually, I'll take that back. It double bottomed at 15 not too long after it IPO'd, so we gotta
Yeah,
watch that.
I have that line target too. That target, that level. However, mm, if it breaks 15, I think it gets 17.
Oh, for sure. Like,
And
and
then
that's pretty much
yeah,
what it's consolidating at right now at about 15. So that makes
yeah.
sense.
So that's why
So if it
if it
busts through
can,
that, then 17, yeah.
yeah. So that's why we can't break through that. If it drops after this, then I'm killing it. Matt is doing good. Let me see. I don't know. Matt's doing good. It's um target for Matt. I have at 21.45.
Let me see fibs here. Yeah, 138.2 on Saber is 17, so that makes sense because it's high to low. We push back up here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Chef. Check out Matt.
Hmm?
Check Matt. MAT. Steal the one I'm in.
AT has a really nice uptrend going. And where's our levels? 22-ish. Yeah, 22-ish, somewhere around there.
21. Well, I have a 21.45 one. Those little right there. That's where I, if it gets there, I kind of was thinking of closing it. Also target, which is not too far.
It's trending nicely.
The other one I was gonna close yesterday, I didn't like how it kind of hit like a level, and it closed how it closed. It's Patterson, PTEN.
It hit 8. Yeah, and 8 is resistance, clearly, yeah.
I was gonna close it yesterday. So depending on how it opens and moves in the morning, I'm gonna close it also.
It hasn't moved yet in pre-market, still 759.
Hmm.
It also depends on what the stock market wants to open up like. Stock market's been a bit sideways, back and forth.
Yeah, which
If you can make
explains why
new highs, then that's another thing. Like, kind of like, man, timing is so key. Like, the technicals need to line up, the fundamentals need to line up, and like, because with options, that's such like an individual play. Okay, you're trying to capture momentum within a short period of time.
Yeah.
So like, if the market's going bearish, even though like your technicals may be good, and your fundamentals may be even good, but if the overall market is bearish, then you're at a disadvantage.
Right.
So like, if you have all three lining up where like the overall market is moving up, your technicals suggest that okay, you should be moving up, your fundamentals suggest that you should be moving up, then yeah, that's like the best situation.
That thing you're looking at is that's a ETF. So it's ETF.
Huh?
What is that? What are you looking at? SPY.
SPY ETF, yeah, that's the S&P 500 ETF.
Oh, okay.
So it pretty much tells you what the market's doing overall. Dang, yeah, it looks like GJ is gonna push back up. I handled that so bad.
I mean, I wouldn't say that because you reacted to the price action. I mean,
I think that you
Yeah,
could have
but
left one open at least if you had four, maybe two open. I don't know, but look, like me, I know I would have closed everything because I usually don't do like don't do that. But
yeah, like the only reason why I handled it like that is, like I said, because I was up before,
mhm.
and like I kind of have like somewhat of a rule, like if you're up a certain amount, then you shouldn't really be taking losses after that fact.
Yeah, but
So
depending on, I think it also depends on the pair because GJ is a pair that moves a lot, so it makes sense that it could dip down and dip back up and all that crap.
sure,
It's not like
that
EU. EU is more like where it's moving is going.
for sure, and that's also the reason why my stop placement is always what it is, because if I take the trade like my entry here, give or take around
Mhm.
4, average price around there, and then yeah, my stop loss is there, right? So like I do that for a reason, because market structure, right? Like the market shouldn't be taking out previous lows if you're in an uptrend.
Right.
So it's kind of important to stick to that fundamental rule as far as staying in your positions. Of course, like you may want to mitigate risk on your way there as it threatens the low,
Right.
but yeah, you still want to stay in your position overall. I didn't do that here. So that's why I'm most irritated. But it looks like that wick rejection on the last hour on GJ was pretty key. It recovered the whole support level, so it's probably just going to bounce up eventually. So the trade was okay, but the management was just bad. It's like, look at the daily. I mean, that looks like a lock. Like it's almost guaranteed to go and retest 150.
Think so.
I mean, yeah, like judging by the nature of the uptrend, like we had a pullback, but the pullback was very shallow. Big wick rejection here, indicating that, okay, we got a lot of buying pressure. Then we get our bullish candles. Upper wick rejection, sure, but all these upper wicks are now getting filled. So yeah, I think it's highly probable. I'll say like 80% chance we go retest 150.
I mean, I wouldn't say that yet. I think it needs to move up a little more, like it,
Well,
because right
sure.
now it just it closed like the big wick, but what's gonna happen? That is it. That wick gonna be that wick could easily be filled, and
It
then
could.
that's it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility that a wick could be filled for sure. But just judging based on what's been happening consistently,
Hmm.
uh, yeah, I think this is just like the pattern just repeats itself, right? Like
Right.
makes a move up, makes a move down, makes a move up, makes a move down, makes a move up, makes a move down, makes a move up, makes a move down.
Right.
It's just gonna do that again.
Yeah, that's true too. That makes sense.
But I only lost like a quarter of an R in total on this though, so I did okay.
Oh, as long as you don't lose.
Yeah, I did okay. It's not like a big loss or anything.
Yeah.
But you got work now? 9 o'clock?
Yeah. I gotta step away then. So let's do it again tomorrow,
Yeah, man.
7:30.
Let's do it.
All right, bro.
All right, man.